Can You Relate with Kathy Dawson is presented by CK Media Productions.
Hi everyone, I'm Kathy Dawson. Welcome to Can You Relate, Cleveland's relationship show. Now, if you've been tuning in for the last 6 weeks, you already know this show is about relationships, and it's here to help you. Whether it's relationships with your spouse, your children, your in-laws, your friends, your pets, whatever, this show is for you. Before we get started on the week's show, I want to talk a little bit about the holidays. For the next several weeks, a lot of what's going to go on here is going to be about helping you cope during the holidays. One of the things that my husband and I have done for years is we have made a big effort to carve time out for us. You know, it's so easy to get sucked into the vortex of the holiday machine, and then all of a sudden it's over and you think, have we really had anything festive go on for just the two of us? So over the years, we make sure we spend at least a couple hours either going to look at the lights, or maybe sitting by a fire in front of our Christmas tree, or maybe going downtown and just looking at all the decorations. So it's so important to make sure you do that with each other. Now, first though, before we get into more holiday things, I want to talk about your relationship with your hairstylist. This is huge for women, so follow me. You know, we all have to get our hair cut, okay? Even if you have short hair, long hair, whatever, it's so important to have a good relationship with your hairstylist. So we have Sandy Hoyt here from John Roberts Spa, and Mia, thank you for joining on the show. We're going to talk about this important relationship. Now, I have to say, tell me if I'm not correct. Does it kind of feel like you're a therapist? I mean, first of all, when I'm sitting there and I have somebody's fingers going through my hair and they're pulling my ear back, you know, or they're shaving my neck, it's kind of an intimate thing to do. It's vulnerable. But over time, you learn to trust the person.
Yes, definitely. You build that relationship with someone and you end up knowing their ins and outs of their personal life, their professional life. You build a great relationship. They're part of your family. You end up, you know, enjoying hearing their stories. You miss them when you don't see them for a while.
Right.
You talk to them on your time off.
Sure.
You build a great relationship.
Sure. And so I don't know if you see them outside of the salon, but each time they come in, I'm sure they're updating you on your life, their life, and you probably share some of your life.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
So what are some tips that you can give people to build this relationship? You know, they come in, they have an idea of what they want their hair. Hair is so important. You know how important. If your hair looks good, everything else looks good.
You feel good.
If your hair looks bad, forget it.
Right.
Okay? So how can you give people tips on how to build this trusting relationship about hair?
The biggest thing, I think, when you're coming into a new salon, at John Roberts, we really focus on our consultations. We've got to make sure that you are understanding what that guest wants. Coming in and seeing a stylist that is new to you, have pictures.
Okay.
You know whether or not you're updating your look or if you're maintaining your look. Understand what your hair is. Make sure that, you know, if you're looking for, you know, something that is low maintenance, that if your hair is curly, you're not looking for a straight look and you don't want to put the time in for it.
Right.
So make sure that you understand.
So be clear about what it is you want coming through the door.
Yes.
Now what happens, because this has happened to me, where they're cutting your hair and you're looking at yourself, you're going, I'm hating it. But I don't know what to say to them. So I say, oh, it looks good. And I walk out and I think, I hate it. How do you say that to a... Be honest. It's all in the delivery, though, right? You can't sitting there going, oh, I hate it. Probably isn't good.
Right. As a stylist, though, we are trained as far you've got to look at your client's body position, your client's mood in their face. You know, you can a lot of times when you know your client, you can read it. You can definitely read it. But a client definitely needs to know that, to be honest, it hurts more as a stylist to know that you're walking around for the next 8 weeks not loving your hair than if you would have just said, you know what, I want this changed a little bit. let's do that and make you happy.
So Mia, have you ever had this happen to you where you've had to actually say in the chair, I think we need to do something different?
I have.
Okay,
I have
did
a
it
lot.
go over very well?
Yeah, because they completely understand. They're used to it. It's what they do every day, so it's easy for them to go ahead and modify it right then. It's a lot worse to leave and feel miserable,
isn't that
and
awful?
then you feel even worse calling and saying that you don't like it and having to come back in. It would be better just to say it right then and there.
Okay, I've done this where I've gone to somebody, they did my hair, I hated it, so then I switched salons. Okay, so now these people are starting fresh and they do something, I hate it even more. It's not good. So if you would like to find a stylist who can really build a relationship with you and build trust, you probably want to give John Roberts a call, and you can get a hold of them at 216-839-4850 or log on to johnrobertsspa.com. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. We have more of Can You Relate coming up next.
Up next, planning your Thanksgiving dinner. We'll add 4 important foods to your grocery list that your body will thank you for. And later in the show, here's to your health. We'll show you how to make drinks that are delicious as well as nutritious.
Craig and Mark Lindahl and Grange Insurance understand that 1 minute you're out there living life to the fullest. The next thing you know, you've got sweeping changes to make and your family's future to think about. Talk to Lindahl Insurance about how to save by putting all of your insurance with Grange, protecting your possessions and the ones you love. When things zig instead of zag, contact Lindahl Insurance or visit their website.
Well, Thanksgiving is almost here, and if you're healthy, be grateful. We have Dr. Tenpenny, Sherry Tenpenny from Tenpenny Integrative Medical Center here. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank
and
you.
You're going to tell us about 4 foods that we can incorporate into the holiday meal or at any time in our life to help us stay healthy, right?
Stay healthy, and particularly associated with breast health.
Okay, great.
So the first one that I always recommend is something called calcium D-glucarate.
All right.
And everybody thinks it has something to do with the calcium, but calcium's just the carrier. The most important molecule is the glucarate. The glucarate helps to clean out your liver. It helps with your colon. It puts up a protective shield to your breast if you've got too much estrogen in your system. So you have estrogen dominance, which means that you may have headaches or breast pain before your periods, or maybe you've had cancer treatment and you want to lower your estrogen levels.
Now, I just want to ask you, at the store, so if you see the bottle, it says calcium. That's not what you're getting. You're
Correct.
getting calcium
D-glucarate. Glucarate.
Okay.
And if you want to take it as a supplement, it's usually about 1,500 milligrams a day as a supplement, but you can get it in natural foods and simple things that you can add in. There's things like grapefruit, there's Brussels sprouts and broccoli and apples. All of those things have a lot of glucarate in them.
Who knew?
So, you know, the whole issue about an apple a day keeps the doctor away, it really is true, and one of them is the glucarate that's in there.
Okay, great.
So that's a really important thing, and you can put the grapefruit and Brussels sprouts and broccoli and apples, all those things into your holiday cooking.
Obviously not in the same meal,
Correct.
but throughout the day.
Throughout
right?
the day.
So
right.
what this looks like.
And this is turmeric, and that the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition said in 2006 that turmeric was the #1 antioxidant and the most studied herb of all of them.
I'm very proud. Do you see this is almost empty?
It's almost empty.
Yes, we use
and
that.
it's really, it doesn't have a whole lot of taste, and so you can sprinkle it in things, and just about anything. Things like potatoes and pasta. It's the yellow spice, so it gives your food color.
Okay.
It's important. It's the most important nutrient we recommend for breast health. It's important for any type of pain or inflammation. It's a great antioxidant.
Wow.
So if you put it in your food, you can put as much in as you can stomach in terms of taste. If you want to take it as a supplement, it should be somewhere up to about 900 milligrams a day.
So you can't overdose on turmeric.
You really can't overdose on it.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's really
What do we
good.
got here?
This is vitamin D, and you know there's been so much in the medical literature lately about vitamin D. Almost every single organ system in the body, it's very important for health, and it's from your brain all the way through your muscles and your breasts. It's a huge anti-cancer nutrient these days.
And living in Cleveland in the Northeast Ohio, we don't get it from the sun. very much.
Exactly. And if you live north of the 40th parallel, which is a line that goes like from San Francisco to Washington, D.C., which of course we are,
Right.
we don't get hardly any vitamin D in the winter. So our patients and everything that we recommended, it's really important to get a blood test for 25-hydroxy vitamin D, the 25-hydroxy vitamin D level.
Okay.
Because when that blood test comes back, it will give a range of somewhere between 20 and 50. And it's really important for patients to know what their level is.
Oh, all right.
Their level needs to be at least 50 preferably 60 to 80.
Okay.
Nutrient fortified foods only have about 100 IUs. They do these measurements in IUs, 100 IUs of vitamin D. So it's really not enough to say you just eat yogurt. That most of the time, even in a multivitamin, there's 400 IUs. But most people need to take about 2,000 IUs a day.
So we're talking supplementation.
We're talking supplementation.
Okay. How about this?
And then the most important thing that you can possibly do for breast health has to do with iodine. And that's one of the things that people really haven't seen a lot in the medical literature. But in your breast tissue, exactly. In your breast tissue, those areas that are iodine deficient in your breast tissue are the most likely places to get cancer. Iodine we think about for the thyroid, but iodine is so important for breast. You need 150 micrograms a day to keep your thyroid healthy, 2,000 micrograms a day to keep your breast healthy.
And I know for a fact that seaweed helps with that.
Seaweed, you can sprinkle it all in, and like hard cheeses, gold cheeses, and you need to take the plastic off of all your cheeses when you put them in your refrigerator, so the chemicals in the plastic doesn't go in there.
Are you kidding?
And when you first eat cheese, you should slice off all about the outside.
Okay, we need to have you back. Seriously. I mean, we could do this for half an hour.
I know that.
If you are interested in this information, I find it very enlightening. You want to get a hold of Dr. Tenpenny, and you can do that by calling her at 440-239-3438 or log on to your website at tenpennyinc.com. Thank you again.
Thanks so much. It's so fun.
All right. We'll see you up next.